hot off the press after just doing a talk behind me and coming this afternoon for, of course, the essential big plastic debate. Now, please talk me through exactly what you've been talking about today and what's going to happen this afternoon. It's so exciting that you're here.
Well, it's great that we're here. And, you know, it's great that packaging innovations are being so innovative, really, to say we need to talk about plastic rather than just be a showcase for selling more plastic. Let's have some more controversial people in. So this morning, my kickoff really was to get everybody to think a little bit differently. Change is coming like a juggernaut. Our kids need it, we need it, it's going to happen, and the industry needs to wake up and it needs to move faster. So our whole job at A Plastic Planet is to inspire, ignite and help industry to change. And we like to do that from inside, you know, to help people change rather than attacking business from the outside. You know, I'm an entrepreneur. I believe in the power of business. The people in this building, in the NEC today, have the power to change the world. So we want to ignite them, inspire them that they want to be part of a plastic-free journey.
So you've been here, it's the first day today. Talk to me a little bit about what the reaction's been from the plastic industry, from the packaging industry. You know, we've got 6 shows in one, crossing over the industry as a whole. So what has their reaction been?
Well, that's a good question. Obviously, we just started, so we'll see. I mean, we did packaging innovations in September in London. We only got 1 death threat. I thought that was quite a good record. Let's see what happens here. But obviously, we are selling change. We're not selling any stuff. We're selling change. It's a very different kind of stand. So if you come to our stand, you'll see a million different examples of how to change to plastic free today, not in 5 years' time, definitely not in 25 years' time, but what is possible today? That's our whole remit really, is we want to lead by example. So things like this morning I was talking about the Budgeons supermarket chain, that we went into the North London Thornton Budgeons and we've taken over 2,000 product lines plastic free there now. And that's just as a symbol of let's lead by example. There's no point, no more words. Action. We want action now.
So let's talk about action. Let's talk about the pillars. Let's talk about what people here can do. You know, there's people watching at home, at business, at their desks, live here online. Yep. It'd be amazing for them to have a takeaway from you if they're not going to be part of the debate, if they're not going to be here in person. It'd be amazing to know about those pillars and what we can do to make that change.
Well, one of the things that we're really keen on is let's stop lying to ourselves. And I think one of the things I talked about this morning was this whole word single use. Who really determines how many minutes, how many hours, how many days single use has to be useful to us for it to be single use? Because I actually think if we've only recycled 9% of all the 6.3 billion tonnes of plastic waste in the world, then that means 91% of it has been single use. So number one, let's look in the mirror and for once let's tell ourselves the truth about our addiction to plastic. That's always the big thing with any addiction, isn't it? Number one, know that you're an addict. And then look for how we can change. So we work at a number of different levels. We work at government level. We have an EDM, an early day motion, which is being discussed in Parliament right now, which is asking for an outright ban on the export of our plastic waste to developing countries. I cannot believe that we're still sending over 60% of our plastic waste to countries like Myanmar and Mozambique. In our name, we are sending our plastic rubbish. You know, in your name, my name, everybody here's name, our waste is going to some of the poorest people in the world, expecting them to deal with it. And then we say, oh, they don't really have quite the infrastructure. This is an intended consequence now. People talk to me all the time about, oh, we've got to be careful, Sian, unintended consequences. If we switch from this miracle material plastic packaging, there'll be unintended consequences. Right now, the fact that we ship our waste abroad to countries that cannot cope with it is an intended consequence. And we need to fess up to that and we need to change. So change is going to happen at a number of different levels. What is so exciting, I am an eternal optimist, is that there is so many new materials coming out. There's a massive consumer demand. People want to buy plastic free. We see that with our consumer trust mark. We've got some 90 brands and businesses applying for that. So you can see this change happening. So it's happening at grassroots level with all these amazing people who want change to happen. Things are happening at government level. You know, the new resource and waste strategy, interesting, just needs to happen faster. Industry in the middle, this is the bit that can change the world. So this is our job, is to ignite business internally so that we can really make change happen faster.
And it's fantastic, isn't it? Because seeing it's plastic innovations, for an example, because we are here and that's what we're talking about. Sorry, it's something that they are focusing on. It's something that they are having a discussion about. It's something, of course, stop the talking, but we have to start the talking here to be able to make the change, don't we? Yes. So at the end of your talk, were there any interesting questions? Was there anything that anybody, because I find that quite fascinating, and people that come to watch you and hear you, and they always come up with something really quite off the wall sometimes, hey?
Well, unfortunately, I was all words. There was no time for questions. I was the warm-up act for Ian from Iceland. So that wasn't really the format this morning. That was a little bit of, a monologue to try and ignite everybody. This afternoon, that's going to be the big debate. And I think that's the one that everybody is really going to be interested in seeing, because how unusual is it for plastic campaigners like ourselves, who really represent the people, to have an opportunity to go head-to-head with the British Plastics Federation. So I think that's going to be very interesting.
Well, good luck this afternoon. We're going to be streaming that live, so make sure you check out the big plastic debate. It's going to be absolutely fascinating. You can also join in on our social media as well. Good luck.
Thank you. I'll need it.